so in this video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the example of project, and in that example of project, you have a project that is similar to the one that you are dealing with, and what you would like to do is to actually solve a similar kind of problem. So instruction: answer the question below. You have to turn in your answer. You have to turn your answers in an Excel spreadsheet showing your work, and an answer sheet answering the questions below. You send the Excel spreadsheet and your report, your answer sheet via Moodle. You have to submit two documents: an Excel spreadsheet and report. So here you have something called the dataset name tutorial data. So the tutorial data.xlsx in the Excel spreadsheet sent to you represent all the losses incurred by several clients during the year of an insurance company for a specific health insurance product. Each row, each observation of the data set represents a loss incurred by a given client. So here you have your so here's your data set. Here you have the losses in France CFA, and you have, like, for example, client number one. This is his loss: 692,000 francs CFA. Here you have 355, 600 CFA, etc. So these represent the losses for all the clients. So you have one client here, another one, another one, another one, another one. So these represent all the clients of the insurance company who had a loss. Okay, let's continue. So as you can see, tutorial data. So tutorial data, okay, that's the file that we're talking about. Now continuing, an expert and a report. Okay, now here's the problem that we have. The deductible is 100,000 CFA. The insurance company will pay 60% of the loss in excess of the deductible, subject to a maximum payment of 300,000 CFA per loss. So mathematically speaking, what we have is the following thing. You have x, let's x represent the loss and y represent the insurance payment. So from the insurance payment, we have the following. We have y, the payment, is equal to the following: 0 if the loss is between 0 and the deductible, and it's equal to alpha multiplied by x minus the deductible if x is between d and d plus u over alpha. And here it's equal to the maximum benefit if x is greater than or equal to the deductible plus u divided by alpha. So here is what we have as equation. So 0 if the loss is between 0 and 100,000 CFA. We have 0.6 x minus 100,000 if x is between the deductible of 100,000 CFA and 600,000 CFA. Now if x is greater than 600,000 CFA, you obtain 300,000 CFA. So that part here, d plus u over alpha, is calculated as follows. You obtain 600,000 CFA. This is what we have: 600,000 CFA here. Your maximum benefit u is supposed to be here is 300,000, and alpha, the coinsurance factor, is 60%, so that is 0.6. Okay, so this is basically what we have for the insurance payment side. Now here's the question that we ask. The deductible is that using Excel, perform the following operations. They say find the minimum and the maximum amount of loss, and after that we're going to calculate the mean of the losses and the standard deviation of the losses, calculate all the payment the insurance is going to make. So let's start with the first question: find the maximum and the minimum amount of loss. So if I go to my Excel spreadsheet tutorial data, here I'm going to, for instance, I'm going to start here. For instance, here I have like my minimum. I write minimum. Here I'm gonna write maximum, and here will be, for example, the losses. Okay, and I can actually create a box like this. And if I want to find the minimum value, I can just simply write it. Before I write, I use a function, Excel function. An Excel function is a function that is inside of Excel. So for example, if I have if I have 5 here and 2 here, and I want to calculate the sum and of 5 and 2, I'm going to use the sum function. So to evoke, to actually use a function of Excel, you start with equal, and then you write the function. Excel has several functions. One of them is sum, so I write sum like this, and I'll open a parenthesis, and here I have to insert. So this is called an Excel argument. So the sum function can take on numbers as arguments. So the number that I would like, I can select arrays of numbers, list of numbers, other list of numbers, like 5 and 7 together like this, and then I close my parentheses. So that will calculate the sum of these two numbers, and I press enter and I obtain 7. Okay, so that's how we actually use a Excel function. So let me clear this. So notice, like, if I want to type 5, I just type 5. I don't write equal 5. If I want to type 8, I just type 8. I don't write equal 8. So if I want to do the sum, if I want to use a function, an Excel function, I type equal first, equal, and then whatever I want, equal sum, equal multiply, equal product, etc. Okay, so let me clear this second, and then clear content. Okay, now the minimum value equal to the minimum function, and I select now the data values. So I want the minimum value out of all of those values. So I click on this one, and I press Control Shift and down. That will select all the values in the data set, and I come here and I close, and I press enter. So here I have the minimum value of 81,000. Now let me look. So like I said, that you press Control Shift down. So just like here, if you have a column like this one, you want to select all of these values inside. You click on the first cell here, and then you press Control Shift and then the down on your keyboard, and that will actually give you that will actually select all of this. Okay, so continuing, we'll do the same thing for the maximum equal to the maximum function in Excel. Then I select this. I can do the following. I can select it this way, but it is too long. Like, let me do it that I can select it this way with my mouse and things like that. So I can do it, but it is very long. It's gonna take forever to actually select all of this. Okay, let me do it like the long way first, so that you can see the difference. Okay, so now I've selected all of them manually, and then I come here. So it goes, so this is what it says. It says that the maximum value of the number in cell A2 and cell A501. Okay, so here, like, okay, let me close first, and then I press enter, and here I have the maximum value. But I could have found it very faster using the Control Shift down equal to maximum. I come here and I press Control Shift down simultaneously. Okay, and then I turn and I press enter. As you can see, in 1 second I have the answer. Okay, now what I was saying was, here for instance, I have, as you can see, Excel is made of rows and columns. In the rows, you can see that we have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of that. In column, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. So here's what's gonna happen. If, for example, I type 5 here, when I look at the position of 5 is located in column 1 to A, B, C, D. So D, and then in row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 is located in a position D6. Okay, so whenever I want to reference that cell, for example, if I want this cell here, G6, to be equal to this one, I press equal, and I come here and I select this one. As you can see here, it will say equal D6, so it is referencing D6. And what's gonna happen is that the value here is gonna appear here. So what I'm saying is that so G6 is equal to D6. That means the value that is in D6 is the same as the one in G6. So when I press enter, I'll have 5 also. Okay, so that's pretty much, that's the first question for this project, for this tutorial for the project. So if for example I want to do the sum of these two, this one I know that this is F2 and I know that this one is F3. So if I want to do if I want to add let's suppose that I want to add the values here and here, I can write for example sum equal to sum, and I'm going to select this. I know that this one is F2, right? So I write F2 all the way to, so what I'm telling Excel, select the values in F2. In the argument I can go from, like when the values are next to one another like this, I can use this these dot over here to say that go from F2 all the way to, let's say, F3. Okay, so that's what it tells Excel, is to go through, tell a row, to the elements, do the sum of the elements in row, from row 2 to row 3. Okay, but here what I can use a comma, just like in the argument function here. So here I'm telling Excel, do the sum of the value in F2 and the value in F3, and I close and I get the value here. Now what I can tell also Excel, for example, I want to add this value here, this is A5. Okay, I want to tell Excel, do the sum of F2, F3, and then A5. So here I come and I add A5. Okay, as you can see, it is referencing the value here to tell me, let me know that I'm actually summing. So you can see the blue here color representing this one, the green color representing the second one, and the pink color, the purple color representing the value here. So now I can do the sum automatically. I have the sum of those three. All right, so this was the first question. Let's move on to the other questions.